guys, what is going on? This is your boy Joshua here. Before we get started on this video, I would just like to announce that I do have a podcast under the name the BunBunPodcast. You can find me on Spotify, you can find me on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, and certain other places. I generally kind of talk about more than what I talk about in this channel. Maybe cartoons, musical theaters, and pop cultural stuff, and certain stories from my life, I guess. If you want to listen to more stuff from me, it's in the description box down below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Dr. Seuss. Every single person has read a Dr. Seuss book, or multiple Dr. Seuss books, like Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, Lorax. We got the books, and then we also have the movies, which, when you really think about it, aren't really that great. We actually have another Dr. Seuss story, which wasn't really turned into a movie, but turned into a series. Now, yes, Cat in the Hat also kind of had its own series on PBS. I think it was called, like, Cat in the Hat Says, or something like that. Now, when I first saw a video of it, which was on YouTube, I thought it was just like a fan animation, because I never heard anything about Green Eggs and Ham becoming a series. Apparently everybody else heard about it, but I didn't. I thought it was just going to be like a collection of shorts, like, oh, you got Green Eggs and Ham, the next episode's going to be Cat in the Hat, the next one's going to be the Sneetches. That's what I thought it was going to be. But no, I see another trailer, and then I find out it's a 13-episode series, and I'm like, wow. We were all essentially kind of thinking the same thing. How are they gonna take a story like Green Eggs and Ham, turn it into this 13-episode series? When I watched it, I was honestly hooked in. Like, I honestly did not want to pull away from the series. I kind of wanted to just continue to watch it because I was just so interested in the story. I'm gonna say this right now. I think besides the Grinch, the original Grinch cartoon, I think that the Green Eggs and Ham has probably got to be one of, if not the best Dr. Seuss adaptations out there. I'm sure a lot of people who probably heard about Green Eggs and Ham becoming a series, they probably were thinking it was going to be bad because of all the other movies were practically bad or okay or just meh. Well, let's just quickly get into what the story's about. Because again, you probably are wondering, how are they going to make this about a guy refusing to try Green Eggs and Ham throughout the whole story, and then he eventually tries it? How do you make that into a riveting story for 13 episodes? Well, essentially, Green Eggs and Ham doesn't have a large part to play into the series. What it really is about is Sam and Guy basically find a chick-giraffe. It's a interesting animal that can like grow and it can shrink into like this cute little fuzzy ball. And so they go through like all of these places and somewhat obstacles to try to get him to his home. They gave these characters that you see in the book more character. Like, more characters, especially with Sam. I may not really want to get into that one because that would be a spoiler. I kind of don't want to spoil it for you. If any of you guys who are watching this video haven't seen the series, I'm not going to do any spoilers for this one, so just letting you know. Sam and Guy basically both have suitcases that look exactly the same. Guy has an invention, and Sam has the chick-giraffe in the suitcase. The suitcase is accidentally switched, and Guy accidentally ends up getting the chick-giraffe, and now he tries to return it to Sam. And because you have these bad guys that are going after him, trying to get the chick-giraffe for this billionaire, I think. I don't remember what his name was, but let's just say he kind of looks like Trump, mainly with like the hairdo and stuff like that. He has like this huge wall of animals that he basically kind of keeps captive and kind of shows off as a prize in a way. And the last one that he wants, which is the rarest of them all, it's kind of like this whole adventure of them trying to get the chick-giraffe home while also trying to run away from these bad guys and everything like that. So yeah, it's really interesting how they do this story. Obviously, there's a whole lot more to that than just what I explained, but it's definitely just done very, very well. The animation of this series is honestly just stunning. Now, what I just found out, that it was actually a frame-by-frame animation, and when you really think about it, most animation that we see nowadays is like Flash sometimes. And not that is bad or anything, because sometimes people can make Flash animation look really good, and some people can make Flash animation look not so good. But this isn't flash animation. This is frame by frame animation, and it really shows. It's just done beautifully. The world of this show is also amazing as well. And there's a couple of like shots where you see like CGI, but it just blends in so well. The voice acting was also really good too. You had a lot of people who were basically A-list celebrities that were in it. You had one of the people from Key and Peele. I can't think of his name, but he was the narrator, who was actually pretty funny as well. You had even Tracy Morgan playing one of the characters. You had Adam Devine, I think that's his name. Those are the only names I can come up with at the top of my head, but you had certain other stars in the show. Ellen DeGeneres co-produced this show too, which is like, wow. The episode titles were basically like, say, train, car, rain, house, fox, you know, all the stuff that Guy said, I would not eat them with a mouse, I would not eat them in a house, I would not eat them in a box, I would not eat them with a fox. All those are essentially the titles of a lot of episodes, and when you see those titles, basically that's what you're going to see in the episode. You see train, they're going to be on a train. Boat, they're going to be on a boat. In a house, they're going to be in a house, you know what I mean? Out of all the episodes of the series, and again, I'm trying to be pretty vague when I was talking about the show, because I really think you guys should see it, but there's this episode, I think it's episode 10 or 11, I think it's episode 10, and basically, Guy kind of goes back home to his parents, because that was one of the places that I guess like the train stopped at. He sees this entire family essentially is kind of like a success and everything like that, and they're all happy to see him. They're all like, they missed him, they love him and everything, but he just feels like he's such a failure that he doesn't even want to see them, and he feels as though that they are very disappointed in him, when in reality it was just the fact that they are all kind of just sad that he ended up giving up on his dream, and he's just like what he used to be as a child, very inventive and creative. Now he's just turned into this, you know, sad, grumpy old person that's just taking a very boring job for a living and not trying to, you know, go after his dream and everything. And there was this scene where Guy ends up going up to his treehouse, and he goes into a tent that he made when he was a kid, and Guy and Sam honestly kind of have like a heart-to-heart moment. It was, Sam kind of opens up about his backstory, which again, I won't get into, but his backstory is just so sad. That's the only thing I can really tell you, but the way that they did that scene was honestly very touching. It was really touching. Like, first of all, the animation was great in that scene, and when I talk about the animation, the thing I'm mainly talking about is the facial expressions. I mean, first of all, the facial expressions throughout the whole series is pretty great, but the facial expressions in this scene was just amazing, because like you can tell just the grief on Sam's face, and sometimes you just knew, like before he really kind of like just let it out what happened to him, he basically like he gave off this face, you know, and you knew that there was just something that he wasn't telling us, and you knew that it was about to come out, and it was just very well done. And I think that scene, the tent scene, as I call it, the tent scene, just honestly is like my most favorite scene in the entire series. This show honestly just really exceeded so many expectations. Like, again, the story is really good. The way they do these characters are really good. Again, the jokes, the comedy is good. The animation is good. Again, for a story like Green Eggs and Ham, something that you don't think would work as a 13-episode series, they made it work. I highly recommend that you guys see the series. If you have Netflix, go see it. If you don't have Netflix, honestly, you might want to buy a Netflix just to see the show. It's that good. So yeah, again, I highly recommend it. If you guys have already seen the series, tell me if you guys liked it, if you thought it was okay, if you didn't like it or whatever, or just tell me why you guys like the series. And don't spoil everything. Just saying. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit that like button, subscribe for even more content. Hopefully I can come out with another video next week. I'm not 100% sure, but we will see when it comes to that. And until next time, I will see you guys later. You're hearing this from a regular bunny in a regular world. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.